sort of old home week. I loved the video. I'm just sorry that we couldn't meet Lisa Lang. I hope sometime she'll come back and be with us. She seems like a very nice lady. Every year, when ISPA presents the award named for my son, Alex, I sigh and I smile. Knowing Alex and how much he loved people, I sigh. Because, of course, he's not here to meet these extraordinary people that I get to see, that we honor each year. But even more importantly, to meet all of you who didn't know him. I smile because you, the members of ISPA, have been so generous in honoring his memory. He was one of you. He was only 44 when he passed. And he spent almost half of his life being active in supporting, dreaming, and building ISPA. He was a friend to all, a leader who made everyone feel they mattered, for they mattered to him. Alex, along with my daughter, Sarah Livia, helped make Rancho La Puerta what it is today, a refuge, a place for people to find ease and health. The Humanitarian Award tradition honors my family and my staff, and in a way that has my greatest gratitude. I will always work to make this award an ISPA shine. Dedication. And I'm pleased that we honor a journalist this year who travels the road less traveled. Lisa Ling, although I do not know her personally, has my admiration for her unquenchable thirst for truth. There's a bushel somewhere that needs a light shined under it. She'll probably be there. She's a true humanitarian and courageous, and she reports on all those human stories in the corners of our country and our world wherever wrong must be righted. I've been asked to speak today about the mind. And now that I'm 90, I'm aware of how fortunate I am to have such a wonderful relationship with my own, with dear friends. When I reflect on the mind, portion of mind, body, spirit, I think of Rancho La Puerta, our mantra, the balanced life. That's what we've been talking about for 72 years. And the word that came first to me when I was told this is my subject is creativity. That's the fun part. When I stepped out of the day-to-day management of the ranch and the Golden Door, I chose to put on my business cards, creative director. This separates me from my daughter who stepped into my shoes as president, which is a dream came true, every parent's dream. She and Roberto Arjona, our chief executive, has become the most wonderful team. And they're having a grand time running the ranch, and the guests are having a grand time thanks to them. But creativity to me keeps the mind fresh and ever challenged. And I don't see it as a bolt of lightning, but more as inner-directed growth. In his talk yesterday, Jim Collins said that both the great and the non-greats in the world change and innovate, but some are more empirical in their innovation. They evaluate their out-of-your-mind idea to see if it will really work. I sort of agree, but I don't believe in endless guest surveys and market studies to validate creativity's success rate. Sunday, I came from a meeting of the C200 in Chicago, and among our speakers, this is a women's-only group, were the presidents of Google and other key companies that run our country. And one thing they all agreed upon is that focus groups dealt with the past. considered the future in little inches. But today we're flying forward so fast that focus groups have no place. Creativity is what counts and what's important. They just killed the notion of focus groups and everyone would be, oh. What really keeps your mind young, and here's the most essential, the mind is continuously renewing itself and requires great gobs of oxygen to do the job. Americans are certainly the most oxygen-deprived nation in the world, and the quality of their thinking and life itself is affected. The brain requires oxygen to function, and breathing, obviously, is not an option. So conscious breathing, not just shallow everyday breathing, and movement are obligatory. Your mind requires it, and move you must. Every cell in your body requires oxygen, and you'd better exercise daily and pump it into your frontal lobe as much as you do into your fingertips tapping on your iPhones. And then there is silence. Silence. I love the word and all it means. You need to find a time in your life to have a meeting with your mind. Just the two of you. I value meditation, and I know many of you do, but I'm embarrassed to say I'm not up to the formal version of meditation. I have my own version, perhaps you can call it meditation. My time of silence is breakfast. When I sit in the very same chair, looking at the very same garden, having the very same breakfast of yogurt and blueberries and Rancho Puerta granola. I have a cup of coffee beside me. And I sit quietly and breathe deeply and slowly, enjoying the flavors of the food and the flavors of the thoughts that come to me as they will. It's morning, and they seem to flutter past. Some of them I let go, and others I reach out and pluck and look at the thought and think about it and examine it. In a way, it's like the Japanese tea ceremony where you look at a bowl and you hold it and you study its form, its shape. And you think about it. The thoughts that come to me this way color my day. Each one of us needs to find their own method of bringing intentional silence to one's mind. You need to set a time when your mind is open and change can find a home in it. When all else fails, try the shower. Many people say they have their best ideas there, and why not? They have to keep their mouths shut or they'll drown. Of course, the mindful person is resilient. That describes me. When things don't go as you wish, the mind can lead you back. You can dwell in dark places, but it's much more fun to dance again in the light. I have no patience with the shadow world. Reflection, another aspect of the mind. You know the old saying about those who don't know the past are destined to repeat it. That's old hat to most of us. But out of it, I've learned the ritual that has been most meaningful as far as giving direction to my day-to-day life. It's influenced the lives of thousands of my guests more than any other advice I give, and I happily share it to you. I probably told you about it 2 or 3 times in the last 20 years that I've been speaking with you all. But we have a tool. Everyone in this room has this tool, our calendar, our business social calendar. Once a week, for me it's Sundays, I give a half an hour to studying the past week. It's how I get to know myself better, to have a conversation. Valuing your time is key. Did you use it well? Did you squander it? Look at each hour and think, if I had it to do over again, what would I change? What did I learn? What did I do that was helpful? With this in mind, you sort of grade yourself. Then you look at your calendar for the coming week. You still own that time. Make changes that you'll want to like yourself better. Be of greater service. Fly further in the sky of life. When my calendar gets too full, I don't hesitate to call people and tell them I have to reschedule. I'm terribly sorry. I used to use the excuse, well, I have a cousin coming from out of town. By now, everyone knows I don't have any cousins. And then I want you not to be afraid if you have a grasshopper mind. It's one way to say you think sideways rather than in a straight line. I guess grasshopper is not the best simile because most grasshoppers don't survive the winter. But my grasshopper mind keeps hopping ahead of winter, and I'll be damned if I don't find myself in a sunny place while others are stuck underground in winter with the ants. I always wanted to be either phenomenal success or a phenomenal failure. But I never wanted my life to be boring or be bored. And at the end of the speech, I'll tell you about my latest challenge my grasshopper mind has set for me and for you. It's important to use your life to spread joy. When you see something you love, share it, show it. Your mind opens like a flower when it delights in new things. I sometimes think of myself sort of like a poppy, one of the golden poppies of California that grow on the hiking trails of the ranch. When the sun rises, their sap also rises and they slowly open up into the sun. There's an almost cosmic rise in energy in the morning. At the night, the flowers seem to rest. It's a time for deeper thinking. But in the morning, I let my mind rise with the currents of life. And I have to say that just like a poppy, a sunny morning is my most creative, energetic time of day. And thinking more about the mind, the word nurture popped up. We finally have proof that the mind gets smarter, that the mind grows and develops. No one is stuck at a certain level of innate intelligence. We can continue training our mind to improve until the day we die. It said that until recently, everyone thought that the mind developed until you were about 25 and then sort of sat. Now we can accept and look forward to the wisdom of the ancients. Knowledge is not just experience, but the way the mind adapts to it. It's an exciting new research field, and as you read about it and train to improve your cognition, I expect you all to return here next year with an IQ at least 10 points higher. Then comes faith and trust and intuition. Trust in that gut feeling. I do that a lot. And the fact that you can set to do whatever you want to. I have an innate sense of confidence. I had a wonderful experience when I was 11. I decided I wanted to read everything Dickens had ever written. And today, a reminder, as I look up from my desk, on the very top shelf is a 100-year-old set of Dickens' complete works. And I remember with pride that I did that. And I've now set a new task for myself and for you. It will be either phenomenal success or phenomenal failure, but it won't be boring. If I was on TV, I'd say, drum roll, maestro, please, as I present to you my new life, my new career, Wellness Warrior. Everyone in this room here wants to make a difference. We want our lives to count. Well, it's taken me 90 years to figure out what we could and should do and will do. First, you must say to yourself, I am a wellness warrior. Breathe deeply and feel that warrior blood surge through you. We have much to fight for and a battle to win. On our watch, America has become the fattest and sickest developed nation by far. We're on the road to bankruptcy with annual health care costs per capita of over $8,000 a person. Other developed nations who are far healthier spend only $3,000. And we know the cause. Everyone here knows what it's all about. It's what we eat and what we don't do. Big agro and big food combined with our inactive lifestyles, where the most active parts of our body are our fingers, control our choices. Today, as you walk out of this session, you find what's on my mind in detail on a card we'll hand out. One for each of us, so that we may each stand tall and become a wellness warrior. To take ownership of your own health. I'm 90, but I feel like 60, and I do Pilates 4 times a week, and I walk every day. And lately, I walk almost a mile a day through airports. I want you to eat well, eat intelligently. Adopt the slow food mantra, which is eat local, eat seasonal, and fresh. Whether you call it a Mediterranean diet or a plant-based diet, you know the drill. Third, become part of a social network revolution. Make wellnesswarrior.org your gateway and your forum to sharing your best wellness practices, ideas, wisdom, and dreams with other warriors like you. Let's change the conversation. Let's begin talking about what we do for wellness. Let's spread the joy of wellness. And most important of all, help me to set into motion a sustainable lobbying organization in Washington that will fight our fight and save our people, our environment, and our planet. There are forces that have set us on a path to destruction. Congress in these days have been reduced to thinking short-term, just what the people want now rather than what they will need in the future. To make this happen, I need a commitment from you and for your friends and your friends' friends to send at least $10 a year and your promise to email the website to all your friends and clients. It's easy to donate. Just press a key. It's really important to show your faith in me, your trust. I want you to go out from here as the Johnny Appleseeds of this movement. And I pledge that you will live to hear your children thank you. Finally, back to the mind. I was supposed to talk about the mind, and I did. The final key to a healthy mind is passion. I hope I just proved that to you. Find your passion and your mind. Your very life itself will always be challenging, and your energy ever renewing. Go out, fly forward. Thank you.